make sure they know about it. If they don't know, if they do know about it and they're blowing you off, then you're welcome to go and file public records requests and try to look at whatever paper trail has been created that establishes that they're blowing you off, that they're ignoring you, that kind of thing. But it could be that they just don't know. So give them a holler and just check and make sure that they are actually doing something about it, or that they've had it brought to their attention. So that's another piece of advice to keep in mind. Now, we've talked a lot about, in this last section, about asking for records from state environmental authorities. Well, that's going to mean writing another letter. You can go back to the website we mentioned earlier, the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, rcfp.org. They're a great organization. If you go back to their letter generator that I mentioned earlier, they have a function on that letter generator that will allow you to write not only a federal FOIA letter, but a public records request letter for any of the 50 states. All you have to do is select the state you're interested in, and then you fill in the blanks about what kind of information you're looking for and what agency it goes to, and it spits out a nice formatted, properly worded request letter, and all you have to do is print it out and sign it and mail it off. So in a pinch, if you've never asked for an open record, never done an open records request, I would try the RCFP site and give their letter a whirl. Now, there are always some caveats when you're talking about open records. Keep in mind that in some states, you might be required to travel somewhere to look at the records, provided you actually get access to them, obviously. You may have to, for example, if you live here in Texas and you find out that the records are in the possession of the state environmental regulators, we are lucky that we live in a state where the law says that says you can get the records sent to you by mail. I can't guarantee you that every state has that provision. So it could be that you might be required to drive to a regional environmental office, or perhaps to your state capital city to look at the records. It could be that you may be charged money for costs for making copies of those records. In some states, you might be charged a fee for the overhead and the staff time that was invested by that agency to produce the copies of those records. That's why it's always good to word your letter in such a way as to make it clear that if the request is going to cost more than something like, say, $25 to fulfill, you'd like them to give you a heads up and an estimate before they actually make any copies for you. If a government agency says that you aren't entitled to see the record you're after, keep in mind that the process varies from state to state about how you can appeal. In Texas, I've come to actually like the system that they have here, where the state attorney general is kind of the arbiter of what's public and what's not. But in other states, if you ask for a public record and they won't give it to you, the only recourse you may have is to go to court. And in some cases, that can be expensive. So just a couple of heads up there to things to be careful about when you're asking for public records. Well, we're winding down the broadcast here at Trent TV. We certainly hope that you have enjoyed it. We welcome your comments and questions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming to us on Twitter at @TexasWatchdog. We'll keep trying to get answers for you if we don't know the answers off the top of our heads. We hope that everyone will tune in to our next episode, which may be about the topic of lobbying. It will probably be in December, because we are coming up on the holiday months. Please send us your ideas, thoughts, comments to us on Twitter, and we'll be on I'm told we're on December the 7th. So please tune in here at TexasWatchdog.org and also at New Media TV. We look forward to having you. We want to say a special shout out of thanks to two friends of ours who helped us work on the presentation today. That's Laura Frank who is with the iNews. It's the Rocky Mountain Investigative News Network, another fine nonprofit news organization based in Denver. And our friend Ann Payne, longtime environmental reporter for the Tennessean newspaper in Nashville. Hello to Laura and Miss Ann if you're out there. So we want to wrap up for this month, and we sure have enjoyed having you here with us. Please keep the comments and questions coming, and we hope that you will tune in again next month. Keep in mind you can always find our archive of previous episodes of Trent TV on YouTube and at newmediatv.org. So until next month, this is Jennifer Peebles from Texas Watchdog Headquarters in Houston saying thanks, and we'll see you next time.